Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. This is another video of Sony Bravia A80J and the Sony Bravia A80K. Today you will see the gaming performance of A80J and the A80K. The left side is A80J and the right side is A80K. If I talk about the A80J performance, the picture quality on the A80J is excellent with deep inky blacks, bright highlights and great viewing angles with excellent handling of reflections. I had no trouble watching content in a brightly lit living room, though nighttime viewing was much better. Movie lovers will delight in Sony's fantastic XR picture processing that gives a very cinematic film vibe. But whatever tickles your fancy, there are plenty of menu options to further prod and tweak the picture to your liking with very helpful explanations of each one. I thoroughly enjoyed previously the Binging Halo, the offer, and Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Star Trek movies was perfect to test zooming and contrast. And the 80J dazzled with perfect black space and glinting stars, while phaser explosions blinked at times. Games were just as stunning in HDR. I've been discovering the excellent Ghost of Tsushima, where the 80J made the world look so beautiful, lush, and inviting destiny to the Witch Queen's burst with gorgeous HDR color and excellent visibility in the dark, spooky areas. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a visual spectacle to behold running via PC with maximum settings in 4K HDR2. In addition to supporting 4K 120Hz gaming, the 80J has an impressive latency of just 8.5 milliseconds, which is great for Twitch gaming. However, it only recently gained VRR and my experience was less than impressive. First off, VRR only works on the one HDMI port at a time and requires digging deep into the settings to activate it. I connected a PC with an RTX 3080 Ti to the TV, so 4K was no problem, but there was noticeable screen tear and juddering even at fixed 60 FPS. Additionally, there isn't a Game Hub app similar to what LG and Samsung offer, so gamers lack final controls over the TV's game mode. The handy game optimizer is here too, and with the TV supporting LLM, VRR, AMD FreeSync, and NVIDIA G-Sync, this could easily storm up the best TV for PS5 and Xbox Series X guide. On the other hand, if you see the 80K looks a bit better. I don't say lot better, just a bit better. If you already got 80J, I don't think you should upgrade it to 80K. But if you plan to buy a new TV, new OLED TV, then you can choose Sony A80K. Along with its full coverage of DCI-P3 color space when displaying 4K HDR on 80K is capable of good brightness. It measured 99.5% of DCI-P3 color space. For an OLED TV, it's good. I measured 785 nits on 10% window pattern in vivid picture mode and still impressive 616 nits in camera mode. While that falls far short of same bezel, same size mini LED QLED models like the Samsung QN95D, which can reach over 2500 nits of peak brightness. And also LG's 2022 flagship G2 LED, a model that can hit 1000 nits in vivid mode. It should be plenty bright for all but the most well-lit rooms. How bright is the 80K for real-world viewing? When streaming the Netflix document in rooms overhead lights on, the Sony's picture still looked plenty bright and punchy, and there was no apparent reduction of color saturation. And while the 80K lacks the anti-glare screen coating found on specialty TVs like Samsung's, the frame on-screen glare was minimal and generally not a problem. As expected from an OLED TV, picture uniformity was excellent even at well-off center viewing positions. While many higher-end TVs provide a filmmaker picture mode intended to give you movie-friendly picture settings that you don't have to fuss with, the 80K lacks that amenity. There is a Netflix adaptive calibrated mode that automatically adjusts picture brightness based on ambient room lighting, but it only applies to programs streamed from that service. The good news here is that the set's cinema picture mode was accurate straight out of the box. The bad news is that the set's motion flow processing is turned on by default in cinema mode, on a 80K. So movie purists will need to visit the picture settings menu to modify it. While motion handling with the 80K, which has a 120 Hz refresh rate, is very good overall. There were instances where I encountered motion related artifacts when watching a clip early on the James Bond reboot No Time to Die, where Bond walks across a hill outside of an Italian village to visit a grave site. For example, the flattering effects in the landscape as the camera panned over it. Watching with motion flow in its default auto setting eliminated this, but also added a video like soap opera effect setting motion flow to its lowest level corrected for that. However, and also reduced the artifacts I was seeing in No Time to Die. Same as with other Sony TVs, the 80K did an excellent job up converting standard definition HD programs to 4K. This was confirmed when I was a regular Blu-ray version of No Time to Die, which looked 4K HDR-like in terms of detail, color, and contrast. This could very well be due to Sony's cognitive processor XR feature, which received tweaks for 2022 specifically aimed at enhancing color vibrancy and image depth. Settling in for darkroom viewing, I put up two 4K Blu-ray titles, and that I knew would provide the Sony TV with an HDR challenge. The Dune and the Batman both looked great on the 80K, with deep shadows coming across as a true black and dark scenes revealing plenty of detail against this solid foundation. Bright HDR details like the floating, glowing orbs in Dune or sun coming through the windows of Bruce Wayne's manor in the Batman had a powerful effect and contributed to an overall 3D-like quality in some scenes. One related measurement note that Sony's OLED measure 0 nits on a full black window pattern, meaning that it's capable of infinity contrast. This accounts for the set's exceptionally deep rendition of blacks along with its powerful picture contrast, especially when viewing in dim lighting conditions. In this area, actually 80K is better than 80J. If I talk about 80K sound quality, the OLED TV features Sony's acoustic surface audio plus, the positions 5 actuators, 3 directly behind the screen and 2 at the sides that vibrated to create full range sound, and they are accompanied by 2 subwoofers for enhanced bass. Other audio features included acoustic audio calibration to tune the set sound output to your viewing environment, voice zoom for dialogue enhancements, and 3D sound upscaling. And 80K has a very slim profile and features Sony's one-slate design that uses a single plane of glass to cover that set's full front. I found its effect to be visually striking. An inset panel allows for easy connections, and there's a snap-on over cover that can be used to manage cables and cancel the rear panel ports. A 3-way multi-position stand is included that can be set at different heights for a flush to stand installation or one that clears plenty of space for a soundbar. But if yours is among them, Sony's multi-position stand has you covered. An optional wall mounting bracket is also available. Sony's remote control is a compact and fairly basic one that's a far cry from the big, fully backlit handsets the company used to provide with its TVs. It was easily enough to familiarize myself with the limited button layout. True, I missed having a backlit keypad when watching in the dark or even in dim lighting conditions. Bonus points to Sony for the remote's textured casing, which should go a long way to preventing it from slipping from your hand and in between the sofa cushions. The 80K's solid next-gen gaming features like 4K 120Hz video input, variable refresh rate, and low latency mode ALLM are supported by low input lag 12 milliseconds as measured by the 4K test meter, an excellent result. And when paired with a PlayStation 5 console, an auto HDR tone mapping feature kicks in that will ensure PlayStation games with HDR are properly displayed on the set's screen. Outside of a game mode, there are no gaming specific menu options outside of auto HDR tone mapping for PlayStation 5. The 80K series sits in the company's 2022 OLED lineup between the flagship A95K QD OLED and A90K models. The entry-level A75K models, which are available in Europe but not the US, as such, it is designed as an option for those seeking both high performance and high value. Given that for US buyers, the 65-inch 80K costs less than the LG's mid-range C2 series OLED models, while delivering mostly equivalent video performance. It ranks as a very good buy. For UK buyers, it costs a little more, though you do get better audio than the LG C2. The only potential better value would be to opt for TV that uses QLED tech, although those models often come with performance trade-offs when you get into the budget range. Overall, I'd judge Sony's 65-inch 80K as a perfect option for those intent on buying an OLED 4K TV, though those wanting to get the biggest screen for their money, but also demanding better than acceptable picture quality would be better served by QLED. On the other hand, if you see the 80J certainly will be cheaper the previous year model. The Sony Bravia XR 80J OLED is simply great TV. It's clearly made for movie lovers, and watching content of any kind is a sheer joy. So should you buy? If you are a serious gamer with the latest hardware, the 80J comes up short. The lack of a game hub, proper adaptive sync, and the resulting stutters isn't good enough when you have TVs like the exceptional LG C2 or Neo QLEDs like the Samsung QN95A. Sure, this could be just a firmware update away, but I think Sony needs to work this into the hardware better. And let's see if the recently released Bravia XR 80K OLED, no doubt it's better. 80K have lots of feature. The 80K included are brighter than earlier models. They can't compete with bright room lighting as well as similarly priced QLED sets. If you talk about buying 80K, 80K excels at displaying deep blacks and fleshing out shadows in dark scenes, making it a great choice for movies. Its color rendition also rivals that of the best TVs. If you compare the 80K with LG C2, 80K's most direct competitor LG's mid-tier C2 OLED models deliver higher brightness at the same size as the 80K plus 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, though the built-in sound isn't as good. And if you compare about LG G2 with 80K, LG's premium OLED offering for 2022, the G2 series excels when it comes to picture brightness, making it a more direct competitor with QLED models on that front. G2 models also have a gallery design that's even more elegant than 80K's one-slate design, but they come with fancy pricing they match. And if you compare with it, Samsung QN95B, Samsung's pricey new QN95B Neo QLED model pushes mini LED backlight tech to the max to create images with deep uniform blacks that nearly rival OLED TVs in that department. They also are capable of delivering exceptional brightness, making them a best bet for bright rooms and for squeezing every last bit of highlight detail from 4K HDR programs. So Samsung QN95B is a better TV, I will say. So that's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. Thanks for watching.